What if the moon was made of cheese? This question comes from pretty much every child ever, and also a surprising number of adults who just want to believe in a delicious universe. So let's entertain it. What would happen if, one random night, the moon suddenly transformed from its dusty, rocky gray self into a giant sphere of soft, creamy cheese? Let's assume it's a nice cheese. Not something too stinky, no Limburger moons, please. Let's go with a classic, Gouda. Firm enough to hold its shape, soft enough to slice with a cosmic knife, and a real crowd pleaser. First of all, the moon's mass would change, like drastically. The real moon is made mostly of rock, with a density of about 3.34 grams per cubic centimeter. Gouda cheese, by comparison, has a density of about 1.03 grams per cubic centimeter. So if we magically swapped rock for cheese, the moon would suddenly become about 3 times lighter. That's a problem. With only a third of its original mass, the moon's gravitational pull would weaken. Right now, the moon plays a major role in pulling Earth's oceans around, creating tides. It's why your beach vacation has high and low tides, and why ocean creatures don't just drift endlessly in one salty, stagnant soup. But with a cheesy moon, tides would be much weaker, possibly reduced by 2/3 or more. This would have a domino effect. Many marine animals rely on tidal changes for navigation, breeding, or feeding. With smaller tides, entire ecosystems might collapse. And without regular flushing and churning, some coastal regions could stagnate or even become hypoxic. That's right, cheese moon might literally kill the fish. But let's not stop at tides. The moon also helps stabilize Earth's axial tilt. Without it, or with a dramatically lighter version, Earth would wobble more. Think of a spinning top that starts to lean and shake as it slows down. Without the moon anchoring us, Earth's seasons could become chaotic. Some years we might get mild winters and hot summers. Other years we might get snow in July and tropical storms in December. Climate instability could be the new normal, all thanks to cheese. But let's say for a moment that humanity survives the ecological chaos, and we're still very much us. Curious, opportunistic, and slightly hungry. The next big question becomes, would we try to eat the moon? The moon is huge, like really huge. It has a volume of about 21.9 billion cubic kilometers. If it were all Gouda, that's enough cheese to give every single human on Earth over 3 trillion kilograms of cheese. That's overkill. Even the French would be like, non, merci. Now imagine the logistics: mega cheese harvesters, space dairies, a rotating schedule of astronaut chefs manning the first Michelin-starred restaurant in low lunar orbit. NASA suddenly rebrands as the National Asiago and Stilton Agency. Billionaires start launching cheddar rockets. TikTok influencers go viral for licking the Sea of Tranquility. Of course, there's the question of shelf life. Cheese, even Gouda, doesn't last forever, especially not in space. The moon lacks atmosphere, which means cheese exposed to direct sunlight would bake and harden, while the side and shadow would freeze solid. Over time, solar radiation would break down the fats and proteins, turning parts of the moon rancid. Imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing not a bright white circle, but a slowly decaying, moldy ball of dairy death. And we haven't even gotten to the smell. No air on the moon means no smell from orbit. But if we ever started bringing moon cheese back to Earth in bulk, that's one international cargo disaster waiting to happen. The first lunar brie spill could force entire cities to evacuate. Then there's the darker side. What if the moon starts to crumble under its own softness? Real rock can hold shape over billions of years. Cheese, on the other hand, tends to squish. Over time, the cheesy moon might sag, shift, or even collapse into itself. Moonquakes would become cheesequakes. Giant cracks of melting Gouda could erupt from lunar valleys. Eventually, the moon might lose enough structural integrity that chunks begin falling off. Yes, moon cheese, meteors. And those would be dangerous. Depending on the size and speed, a falling wedge of moon Gouda could hit the atmosphere, melt slightly, and then slam into Earth like a screaming dairy torpedo. Imagine waking up to the headline, New York leveled by 40-meter chunk of Adam. Even if the cheese meteor doesn't reach the ground, The heat of re-entry would cause it to explode mid-air in a flaming spectacle of sizzling dairy. Flaming mozzarella rain, parmesan fog, smoke that smells like overcooked fondue. It would be the cheesiest apocalypse in history. Now, just to take this to its full logical conclusion, what if we got greedy? What if humans mined the moon too much, harvested too much cheese, and unbalanced its mass? The moon could shift in orbit, potentially drawing closer to Earth. This would increase tidal effects, alter day length, and maybe even cause orbital decay. A low-hanging cheese moon might look beautiful until it crashes into us in a colossal Gouda launch. And then we'd have to explain to the next intelligent species, probably the cockroaches, why Earth got wiped out by a 3.7 times 10 to the 22nd kilogram wheel of dairy. So in conclusion, if the moon were made of cheese, we'd face planetary destabilization, ecological collapse, dairy-based meteor showers, and an eventual slow-bake apocalypse. But on the plus side, there would be so much fondue,